praise your name, I will praise your name. When times of need carry on, I will praise your name, I will praise your name. Though darkness falls all around, I will praise your name, I will praise your name. If I forget what I found, I will praise your name, I will praise your name. For you are faithful, Lord, you lift my head. You're my provider, you're my strength and joy. I'll trust you, Lord, I'll worship you, I love you, Lord, I'll honor you. Lord, I will lift up my soul, I will praise your name, I will praise your name. If I feel lost and alone, I will praise your name, I will praise your name. Though I may labor in vain, I will praise your name, I will praise your name. Through all the heartache and pain, I will praise your name, I will praise your name. For you are faithful, Lord, you lift my head. You're my provider, you're my strength and joy. I'll trust you, Lord, I'll worship you, I love you, Lord, I'll honor. I will trust you, Lord, I'll trust you, Lord, I'll worship everything I say. I love you, Lord, I'll honor you. I'll trust, never let me go. I'll worship, never let me down. I'll love, forever I will love you. I'll love, I'll trust every hour, every day. I'll worship, that's why I worship you. I'll praise you, Lord. I'll honor you. Lord, I will lift up my song. I will praise your name, I will praise your name.
Hallelujah. Let Lord Jesus shine forth. Good evening or good afternoon, wherever you are. Thank you for joining us on another live stream. How is everyone? How is everyone? I do hope and pray by God's grace you are all good because our risen Lord is good. I don't know what is about today, but thanks to Islam, lots of people are giving Islam up today. So I can see comments are moving in the chat regarding to that, as well as in this part of England and in different part of the world, people are in somehow giving Islam up. That's just amazing. It's not only they are giving it up, but they are turning and accepting heart my risen Lord given to them. So that's lots of praises for today. So what we are gonna do is, it's gonna be short live today, short live stream, not short live, short live stream, in the intention of just what's happening in London. But before we talk about London and talk about what is Sheikh Yasir Qadhi is doing in London, I thought I'll just, if anyone listened Friday khutbah from Hagia Sophia Mosque today, you will be kind of, I'm sure you will be curious about what happens there. I am Christian, yes, I do worship and have fellowship with Body of Christ on Sundays. And after that, we do attend Speaker's Corner. So in those of you who listened, very, very disturbing sermon from Hagia Sophia Mosque. In a sense, it is disturbing, really disturbing. I don't know if it's been like translated to English, but Turkish version is like very, very disturbing. With thousands of people are. So it's Hagia Sophia is open to mosque today. It was their first Friday prayer just before Eid, and very disturbing, very disturbing. But that's good in a sense, because it opens the eyes of Muslims when the Imam talks about, yeah, this is the this mosque is now a sign of how we respect one another when it comes to their religion, how we live together with lots of different religions, faiths, all those things. This is the symbol of this. Of course, you get to hear, actually, that just tells you everyone who ends up in that building from now on gonna say, yep, this is what Islam does. Islam is there to conquer. So those of you who are curious about that disturbing sermon, I encourage you to, I do encourage you to please listen it, because as you see how disturbing it is, in that sense it will help us as beloved, it will help us to be more intentional to rescue Muslims from Islam. But that's not what we are going to discuss tonight. That is just extra reasons Islam gives us, regarding why Muslim give Islam up. And I did see in the chat, apparently you are aware of some people are leaving Islam, and yes, there is a party in heaven in the presence of angels, because people are leaving Islam, and today there are people who left Islam and they don't want to do anything with Islam. So, but today I just thought those of you who don't live in London like me, we just go to London and then have little walk we will go to London and have little walk with Yasir Qadhi. So, who is ready for that walk? Yeah, I've been reading this verse over and over again today to reminding us how awesome and wonderful our God is. So, here's the story. I think it's been like a while back now. It's a kind of old fashioned now, where um, Sheikh Yasir Qadhi is being interviewed, and he was asked what he would write down in a blank paper when it comes to Quran. He made like very very disturbing for Muslims comment about it, and there are lots of videos you can watch it, but sometimes you wish there is no internet. I think today was another day Muslim wished there is no internet. Okay, so here, what is it? Here what it is. So here what it is, what it is being wished. Where is it? Everyone is ready? Anyone who lives in London, please tell me you live in London. If you live in London, and if you didn't see this today in London, actually, like, you should bang your head to wall. So this is in London. Sheikh Yasir Qadhi not only stepped into London, but he also took his place on the floor of London. Okay, TMG is in London. Okay, those of you who live in London, who saw this picture today? Apparently it's in Trafalgar Square in London. Someone, I love this, like, that's just so amazing. Someone, so in it is very common in London, like, people would simply draw pictures. You get to see flags, you get to see people who are dancing, but someone simply wants to express whole Muslim world. You are regret that there is internet. So here's the this is so awesome. So this is from London. Someone, I don't know who drew it, but it was sent to me by a sister. Let me just tell you actually who took the picture. I didn't take picture. I don't live in London, but so we've got the physical evidence. It just took place today in London. Let me tell you. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say the name of the person. I'll say the name of the person so that I don't get sued for that. So it has been put together by, picture has been taken by FBI agent Muldal. So that's the picture is taken today from London. And can anyone see what I'm seeing? It's like, yeah, it's in public place. It's like on the floor. It's not only on in public place. It's like someone not only draw it on the floor, like, it's amazing, like, it's like very good art. I love to meet the person who made this, like, really really. I've got like lots of things I want to make him to draw. So as you can, I'm sure, I don't know if you are able to see, but probably on YouTube it is difficult to see, but you should able to see what what um what Sheikh Yasir Qadhi is saying. Okay, that's full statement. Like, it is too small for me to read it, so I'm gonna read it from my computer, and then we all read it together. Please, please. So, who is speaking? A Muslim speaking, and this is like in the streets of London. It's in the streets of London. I love to draw Muhammad in London streets, actually. I am waiting one of the sisters to make Allah for me. We've got already Muhammad, but love to draw Muhammad. So here's what drawing is telling us. Of course, we remember like art is not very good in Islam. Pictures are haram in Islam, but I guess we can treat that as a gift to what happened to what is happening to the Christian buildings when Islam conquers them. Okay, so the issue of ahruf and the preservation and Qrat and relations between them are very, very difficult issues. And our most advanced of the our scholars are not qualified, and then it goes on. And then he's got blank book. If I was to give you a blank Musaf, what would you write on it? Great question, I think. Of course, answer is like amazing. It is not an easy answer. It is not an easy yes or no. Standard narratives has holes in it. I don't know if this video is like still up on Sheikh Yasir Qadhi's YouTube page or not, but now it's on the streets of London. Don't you just love it? Don't you just love it? I love how God gifted individuals in a unique way where like art comes out. Like I don't think like it's just amazing. Now people who never heard about Sheikh Yasir Qadhi, now what are they gonna do is, I think there's a spelling in his surname, but I think he can get away with that. Of course, I'm sure you already saw the books behind him. It's like so amazing. I'm amazed how generous and wonderful and amazing our God is, the way he gifts his people. I don't know person who drove this, he or she Christian or not, but God's generosity, God's grace, God's gifts among people is amazing. Like picture is like very much like him. Proper conversation. Like I can't see any spelling mistakes in what Yasir Qadhi is saying. It is very, very good. So while this happens in this site, of course, so that's in the streets of London, okay? And in streets of Turkey, some bad things are happening, but also once that statement came up, there are holes in the standard account of the Quran. Okay, don't you just love this? Don't you just love this? So if you are in London and if you didn't see this, if you live in London and if you didn't see this, please, please, please take time and bang your head. It's like so awful that you miss it. It is very much awful you missed it, but this is, if you wanna go, another thing is, you don't need to what is it, if anyone was like seriously um willing to take the classes regarding the Qrat and Aruf, which was presented by Sheikh Yasir Qadhi. If anyone were thinking to take that class, let me gently encourage, save your money for something useful, and in that you can simply just walk on the London streets, and then walk on the London streets. Not only walk, even you can step on that empty Musaf, because no one knows what they are gonna write in that Musaf, okay? You can walk on that empty musaf, and you know what? No one is gonna kill you because that musaf is already empty. But if you live in a different part of the world and you put the musaf, so-called musaf, on the floor, you would have to say goodbye to your life. But if you live in London, close to the Trafalgar Square, I don't think I ever been there because I don't live in London and I don't travel those part of the things. But please go and check that out. Go and check that out. And if anyone knows, if really, I'm very serious, if anyone knows who drew this, please let me know. It's not only Zakir Naik's donations are bringing problem. Other Dawa gangs donations they collected is bringing problem to whole the Muslim world. Muslims are start fighting with one another, not only because there are holes in the account of the Quran and Akbar is trying to get out. It's like, I would say those holes are like black hole, but also there might be holes like Swiss cheese hole where Akbar is trying to make its way over there, but those holes are causing problems among people of Islam. It's a good problem because it is causing people of Islam to leave Islam. Therefore it is good. So let me just write it. Oh. Sorry, I was gonna make it easy something for you. I hope this spelling is correct, but that's Holy Book of Islam. Holy Book of Islam is so holy. It is, Akbar can move around it. Holy Book of Islam has so much holes in it. You can't find even the verses. Poor Akbar. Akbar is hungry. Maybe Akbar needs some of the lovely blood of those who love him. I think it's amazing. If anyone watched Anthony Rogers' video from yesterday on Act 17 Apologetics, where he kind of summarized everything in one go. I'm sure that video took ages to put it together. But in that summary, what we get is not only Sheikh Yasir Qadhi is correct that there are holes, black hole, Swiss cheese hole, holes where mouses are just simply walking around. And those holes, like, not only Yasir Qadhi is correct that there are holes, holes and holes. That's very important word for everyone to know. There are holes in the account of half Quran put together. There are pressing questions when it comes to Quran, when it comes to Qirats, when it comes to Ahruf. Whatever Ahruf is, only Allah knows. It's all very much messed up. Minimum of 563 verses of the Quran is missing. Some verses made into the Quran, only one person's testimony, and we don't even know who those people are. Today we are not even able to chase back and then give you the names of who are those people who recited Surah 4 verse 157, Surah 571 to 73, all those verses, and we will never know. I love this conversation right now. But when Muslims say something, they will be accountable for what they say, and according to very well Muslims who's got authority and power and knowledge. With this, we get to see, we get to hear, and we get to witness that Quran is the can I ask admin to block this person called Jason Byrne? He's been blocked because he's been sharing people's personal information. And I did see you a couple of times in my live stream, and by now you should be knowing that in my channel you cannot share people's personal information. If you haven't learned that, this is a good way for you to learn it. This is not for you to share anyone's personal information. If you are that much curious about sharing the personal informations, we would very much appreciate if you share the personal information of where are those millions gone as the Dawa gangs are collecting the money. If you want to share people's personal information, please share with us. Who is the one who put holes in the account of this Quran? Please, if you are able to share the personal informations, please share those informations. What was going in the minds of apostate Islamic Dawah gangs when they were taking the part of the videos out? I love to know those things. I'm someone who practice freedom of speech in lots of different places, at mosques, at streets, at speakers' corner. Therefore, freedom of speech is important and it is very welcome. Therefore, there are only few rules in here, not rules, principles, that this place is not for you to share anyone's personal details, because that does put individuals in danger. And you should know that by now, and you shouldn't be sharing anyone's personal information. And it doesn't matter like what is your relationship with that person. You might be even like friend of that person or brother of that person. It's not my, that part is not my business. My interest area is once you share someone's personal information, you put that person in danger, and this place is not for that. This place, I think, body of Christ is already in danger, especially those brothers who are in the front line engaging with nasty face of Islam day after day. The moment all information you put out there intentionally puts our brothers more in danger, and we don't need anything there. Okay. But as I said, all the rebuttals, all the arguments, very welcome. Freedom of speech is strongly encouraged. Not in a sense you put my personal details and then you just like chop my head off, or give my details to people so people can come and chop other people's head off, or once you put someone's full name, that's already put that person in danger. And I think everyone is old enough to be known in certain names, and you should have that respect since you've got a prophet who expresses those weird things. Anyway, so what I wanted to do is I just wanted to show this beautiful picture where Yasir Qadhi steps into London and then walks in Trafalgar Square. I don't think I ever been there, but anyway, he is already on the floor. Please I don't think he's on the floor because some Muslims just didn't like, even though they took his part of his video down, out, or even though he blocked his comments, all those kind of things. But someone, God bless him, someone, very gifted someone, brother or sister in the body of Christ, or brother or sister in humanity, puts those things on the streets of London. So not only like people take the picture of it, people take the picture of it, also people can walk on it. I think that's wonderful. I think that is very, very, very much wonderful. Let me just summarize once again what is these holes in the account of the Quran. According to Muslims, Quran has been perfectly preserved, dot by dot, letter by letter, sound by sound. Actually, good thing is we are blocked on Twitter at this stage, but there was a tweet someone without any shame put it there. Still, like 21st century person still believes that Quran has been perfectly preserved to the sound, to the dot. Anyway, so while Muslims are believing that, when you go back to time of Muhammad, not that long, it's only 1400 years. When you go back to time of Muhammad, what you see is Muslims are complaining to one another regarding the problems not only in oral tradition, but also problems in the written tradition. Therefore, we get Muslims, not only when they die in the Battle of Yamama, not only they take approximate, they take the chapters which they memorize with them to death, and they do not leave anything behind. When they die, okay, they don't leave their brains behind so that their brains will pass the Quranic verses. When they die, they took the Quranic verses with them. When did you send me email? Love all my moms. If you send me email, if it is not copy and paste, it will be replied as soon as I get to my emails. You can see I am busy. Can't you see I am busy? I'm just busy dealing with this Akbar. I am busy trying to figure out how big is this hole in the account of the Quran. I am busy just making fun of what Muslim sheikhs are saying. Can't you see I am busy? I have to keep eye on this sheikh who is like in the streets of London. Now I need to think about it. It's like, how many people are gonna step on that empty musaf, you know? It keeps me busy. I've got like very busy life. I know you might be thinking like I've got no life or I just do nothing, but actually I've got very busy life. Once I received this picture today, all I needed to do is just I needed to read it again to make sure the person actually looks like Yasir Qadhi. I needed to think about, okay, I needed to think about why would a sheikh make such a claims, man who is very well educated. He's written books after books and his books are intentionally being recommended by Muslim missionaries, suddenly expresses the whole world there are problems in the account of the Quran. Not only problems, there are holes like black hole. And now I have to use that, you know? That keeps me all busy. Yeah, probably I do have emails. I try to reply my emails kind of every day, but I do get lots of emails, so it becomes sometimes difficult to reply your email on that day. Ideally, give me like a couple of days for you to reply your emails. But if your email was affecting your eternity and like really urgent, when I say like really urgent, I mean really urgent, please just put like, I don't know, explanation mark or something on the topic of your email, so I can put them on priority. But yeah, I do get lots of emails sadly, and then it takes lots of time to reply them. Do accept my apologies for that. So let's talk about the things keeps me busy. These holes just keeps me so busy. The reason these holes in the account of the Quran, it's not only in the account of the Quran. Let's read it. What the Sheikh says about it. The issue of ahruf and preservation and qiraat and relationships between them are very difficult issues, and the most advanced of our scholars are not able to handle them, deal with them, answer them, figure it out. Why? Because Allah is the only one who knows what is ahruf. Allah reveals something called, Muhammad claims actually, he reveals Quran in 7 different ahruf, and this ahruf ends up in the time of Muhammad, causing companion of Muhammad to nearly kill one another. Because if you read the full account, Umar says like, I wanted to grab him, but I was so kind. I waited patiently until he finishes his prayer. After he finishes his prayer, they go to Muhammad, and then Muhammad says, yeah, okay. It's like, I remembered. I gave that. I didn't remember that chapter. I give it to two different ways, but maybe even 3 different ways. maybe even 4 different ways. But you know, I am busy man. I am busy with fondling the virgins, having sex with virgins, selling and buying people. I'm so busy with those things. Therefore, I couldn't even keep account which version of the Quran I told people, because I was just making it up. And then from that, I let me just come up with the awesome idea. What is awesome idea? You always blame other people. It is Allah who give the Quran in different ways to me. It's not only one way, it is 7 different way, and according to some Muslim scholars, that's like already a daif hadith anyway. But because my ummah is so much scared of me, my ummah was so much scared of me, they had to take my word for it. And man whom Muslims supposed to take the Quran from, Ubay bin Ka'b, suddenly hears Quran is being recited in different ways, and then it just like causes him to doubt his faith. And what happens is he just got beaten on his chest. Don't fall in the trap that Muhammad gently put his hand and then said, "Oh, let me take all your doubts." That happens on the movies. In reality, Muhammad struck Ubay bin Ka'b from his chest because Ubay bin Ka'b was having doubt. And Muhammad looked in his eyes and I said, yeah, this guy now understood that I've been lying about these different Qurans. Because if there were different Qurans, I would be telling people. No one knows until they start fighting with one another. But that all causes lots of problems. It comes in a time where Muhammad goes to grave, and then of course in that grave he's gonna go through that punishment with the freaking angel. Remember that punishment where angel is just like punishing Muhammad badly, very, very badly. While he's in that punishment, people go to war in Battle of Yamama. By that stage by the time Muhammad dies, you've got 4 people who memorize the Quran. By the time of the Battle of Yamama, there are 70 people who dies in the battle who memorize the Quran, and suddenly Muslim world freaks out. Why? Because people who memorize the Quran are dying. When they die, they take the Quran with them. They didn't left the Quran behind to say, "Oh, let me give you my brain. In 2020, you might able to figure out, and then you might able to get the knowledge." No, they didn't do that. As they died, they took the Quran with them. And then what Abu Bakr does is forces Zayd bin Thabit to put the Quran together. Zayd bin Thabit puts the Quran. When he puts the Quran together, he doesn't remember hold the Quran. He has to go and search for the Quran. Not only search for the Quran, apparently, I am at this stage while I am looking at this Akbar on the screen and seeing Sheikh Yasir Qadhi on the screen. All I am thinking is like, this Zayd bin Thabit was probably hunting behind the black holes, to figure out what's supposed to be in the Quran. People died, they take the Quran from them with them. Now leftover is what we have. So from these leftovers and from all that search, he tries to put the Quran together, and then 3 verses, Surah 33 verse 23, Surah 9 verse 128, 129, gets its way to the Quran only with one person's testimony. And miracle is, Allah knows who is that person is. So when those three persons ends up in the Quran with one person testimony, you got one perfect Quran within 20 years. Within 2 years after death of Muhammad, we get to see oral tradition has been messed up with holes. Oral tradition messed up with holes. Written tradition is messed up with holes. We get to see that in 20 years after death of Muhammad. Once we see what happens in the battle in Azerbaijan, where Muslims were calling one another what? Not my love, not my brother, but they were calling one another kafir, disbelievers, because the way they were reciting the Quran. And from that, Uthman, with all of his wisdom, who never even had any revelation from Allah, who never spoke to angel, decides he's gonna get rid of the word of Allah. How he's gonna do that? First thing he's gonna do is to bring the Muslim community together. He's gonna get rid of ahruf, the 7 ahruf that Allah gives to Muhammad, because Allah feels so sorry for Muslims. Allah gives that to Muhammad, and then Uthman decides to get rid of that and then makes one perfect Quran. Within 20 years, oral tradition has been failed. Within 20 years, written script version of the Quran has been failed, because in the hearts and minds of people, you get to have huge black holes. Something happens approximately 200 years after after Quran has been compiled under the Uthman. Of course, while Uthman compiles that Quran, nothing personal, but those Qurans, he orders Qurans to be burned. He orders Qurans to be burned. So if you are burning the Quran, you are doing something similar what Uthman did. And there is nothing wrong with that. Because why? Muslims are supposed to follow Muhammad and the Sahabas. Uthman is one of those Sahaba. And if he burns the Quran, why shouldn't you burn the Quran? Or if your Muslim scholars are saying there are holes in the completion of account of the Quran, why shouldn't you have a Quran with the holes in it? Just be watch out, don't put like black hole, because black hole is like too big. In black hole, like mouses will be, Akbars will be just playing around, and it will be so noisy. So after Uthman compiles the Quran and then sends the Quran to different places, we've got already 4 different versions of the Quran by that stage with the undotted alphabet. Approximately 200 years after first Uthman's Quran is being compiled, we get to see people are start putting their versions of the Quran. Of course, as you noticed, I didn't even touch the part. Ubay bin Ka'b, who got beaten by Muhammad. Can you imagine? Why, even though that guy is beaten by Muhammad, Muslims didn't even care about his Quran. Muslims didn't even care about his Quran. They just discredit him. He's got beaten for no reasons now. And then after that, of course, what we've got Ibn Masud. He's got his hip broken. Why? Because Muslims didn't want his Quran. And he was holding his Quran. He didn't want to give his Quran to the other Muslims. So this Zayd bin Thabit, who ends up out of pink, or he turns up out of pink or out of blue, puts the Quran together, approximately 200 years after, and then he puts his second Quran together within 20 years. And then approximately 200 years after that, what we have is different versions of the Quran is all circulating around. I think it's just wonderful. 50 different versions of the Quran around in 900s. And of course, but still, we have to say there is only one Quran. Even though today there are physical different copies of Quran is out there, even though today Muslims are translating different versions of the Arabic Quran to English, still we have to say there is only one Quran. So how do we reconcile this all together? The way we can reconcile this all together is we simply go to sheikhs who has been lying to the Muslim communities for 1400 years, but those are the people we would go. Okay? And once you go to these sheikhs, they simply tell you the issue of ahruf and the preservation and the qiraat and the relationship between them are very, very difficult issues. Standard narrative of the Quran has holes in it. Holes, maybe Akbars are playing hide and seek game or doing ballroom dance or just hunting for more food, or holes like black holes. But there are holes in it. I know it's sad I've got only 37 of them. I don't have 50 of them. But even though if I have 50 of them, still, even if I have like 900 of them, still there is only one perfect Quran. Why? Because that's what people want to believe. Or, let me stand corrected, that's what people wanted to believe, because thanks to apostate Islamic Dawah team, thanks to sheikhs, Muslims are literally don't want to do anything with Islam. Why? Because now they know they've been lied to. Once they figure out they've been lied to by their sheikhs, by their imams, by their apostate dawah gangs, by their dawah gangs, by their moms, by their fathers, by their friends, by a whole of Muslim community, they become heartbroken and they don't want to do anything with Islam. Of course, that is the stage where eternal word of God, eternal Son of God, the Lamb of God, who makes us right with God, steps in and then offers them eternal life. Until they hear that moment, all they do is they've been lied, they've been lied, and they've been lied. And that's the simple account of the Quran. With that in mind, oh, actually, I wasn't gonna stand this long. I've got probably people will be thinking instead of wasting my time here, I should be replying to your emails. But once I saw this picture, I was like so much amazed. And praise God for the gifts He's giving to people. Those drawing skills, this creativity. Even the world is very much broken. Even in this broken world, there is still something in us. We represent goodness of God. We represent something of God. We represent His creativity. We represent something. Even though the world is very much and very much broken. So, as I said, this picture is made today in London. If anyone knows who made it, please let me know. Really let me know. And the part, of course, the book, not book actually, the notebook which has been held by Sheikh Yasir Qadhi is the empty Musaf. He's been asked to write on it. Of course, remember, he doesn't know what to write. He doesn't know what to write. Allah knows best. While Allah knows best, please remember, Allah doesn't know who are the believers. Allah doesn't know history, let alone Allah doesn't know who you are. In that note, I think we will finish the evening. We've got Anthony Rogers tomorrow evening to talk about Allah, most merciless and most loveless. Allah who doesn't love anything, Allah who doesn't show any mercy to people. And then we will do some critique of apostate Dawa gangs tomorrow evening. Until then, please join in with the party, which is already taking place all around the world, as Muslims are becoming not only apostate, but they are becoming our brothers and sisters, and they are becoming brother to our risen Lord. They are becoming friend to our risen Lord, and they are receiving place in the bosom of the Father. Please rejoice with that. And also do please take time and pray for members of the body of Christ, for our brothers and sisters who might have some health issues these days. Just pray Lord's will to be done in their life, as well as always, may my risen Lord silence you with his love. Those of you who are beloved and those of you who are not part of the body of Christ, may my risen Lord bring you in your knees so that you can repent and accept Jesus is the Messiah and he is the Son of God. Thank you very much for joining us or joining me on another live stream. We hope to see you tomorrow evening.